Wow, so we are in part 4 of Naruto vs. Sasuke, and today was the all-out fisticuff battle. And I gotta say, Corey, I was into it. It was awesome, and they ran out of chakra right away. I wasn't expecting that, though. I kind of thought that they were going to, like, use some more big moves, but now, you know, when the chapter started, Sasuke is like, this is my most powerful attack, Indra's arrow.
The Indra's arrow.
And I guess that makes sense. They just put it all into those last 2 attacks. And then it's just straight fisticuffs, and they just start punching each other in the face. And we got to see some like real good old school moves from the beginning of the series. Sasuke, you know, pulling out all the shuriken out of his wrist. Mm-hmm. You know, the cut yourself emo no jutsu, and you know some of those other things. And Naruto using the shadow clones in a lot of traditional ways. Mm-hmm. And it was just a great chapter.
Mm-hmm. I'm kind of in the same boat as you. As I was slightly disappointed when they ran out of chakra, but at the same time, I was almost relieved because this chapter was just so exciting. Mm-hmm. I love hand-to-hand combat, especially in Naruto, because this is a series that's based around martial arts and ninja and everything, and just reading this week's chapter is just like a preview for the early storyboards of what the anime is going to be like.
Yeah, it's gonna be so
I just
good.
imagine, you remember that one big panel where it's just them in the middle, there's Kakashi and Sakura over here, and there's just like 20 different panels of them kicking and punching each other. Yeah. That's the type of thing that when they finally get to it in the anime series, make that like 10 minutes long. It's going to be one of those memorable things of the entire series. And even though they have such powerful techniques, there's just something so much more effective about them literally just wailing and beating on each other. And it's not like it was just like Naruto and Sasuke winning the whole time. It's very even. They're both coming at each other with everything.
Yeah, I think that's the main point of the fight. When someone lands a hit, the other person's right behind them. It's not like one person was just wailing on him. Like Sasuke got on top of Naruto and was like wailing on his face, and then Naruto just sat up and headbutted him in the face. And you know, it was just really good, like the whole time. And one of my favorite parts was obviously when Naruto uses his classic shadow clone combo and just like knocks Sasuke up in the air, and then Sasuke and Naruto like clash, and yeah, like Naruto punches him in the face, and Sasuke elbows him right in the face, and like it was good.
And I was talking to you about this earlier. I was on the way to the studio this morning, and I was waiting for the chapter to come out. Like, I was reading that on my phone in my car at a red light, and
that's obviously
I guarantee the people around me were just like, what is this dude's problem? Because when I saw that, I was like, yeah! But you gotta realize, there were like 50 cars, I couldn't move. I'm like, I'm gonna read this chapter, and I'm totally gonna dig it. And that scene was just the beginning of the awesomeness this week. But also, I just loved the imagery of the landscape they're fighting in.
Oh, yeah.
Because even though they're mostly just going like old school fisticuffs this week, everything around them is exploding. There's freaking tornadoes in the sky. And I especially love the scene where they clash at the beginning and they both fall through the clouds. And you can see like the Susanoo cloak going away. Yeah, like their chakra disappears. Yeah. They hit the ground and they're just exhausted. And then they just start wailing on each other. And even at the end of their big fist fight, there's that scene where they're both like kneeled next to each other and just slowly like, like giving it all they got. I don't know if that's really going slow or not, but that's the way I picture it anyway. And just, I love it. The only, like, real major complaint I'd have about this chapter is the scene with Sakura, and that's only because I felt that it broke the pacing a little bit, and it really didn't bring anything new to the story, aside from the fact that she's waking up and she realizes Naruto and Sasuke are fighting. But it doesn't detract from this chapter at all, because it's just, the action was so well done, and the artwork this week was great. Really good.
Really good stuff. Let's talk about the ending. Obviously, Naruto had the QB inside of him, Kurama, and he was giving him some chakra. He's like, hey, man, I saved up a little bit. But Sasuke stole it.
Yeah, as soon as he punches him.
Yeah, you know? Because he had contact with Naruto, he ends up taking it from him and is about to just, like, Raikiri through him. That's kind of how the chapter came to an end. But that almost isn't the most powerful part. The most powerful part to me, anyway, was when he calls Naruto his friend right at the very end. And he's like, okay, I'll see you later, my friend. And with this, I'll finally be alone. And at first I was like, is he telling him that in spite, like kind of making fun of him on the way out? Or is it kind of like he really respects him and he's... Corey, you think it's definitely a respect.
I have a feeling, you know, it's the type of thing, like it's a scene where depending on how he says that is like how you can sort of interpret what he's trying to mean. Like when they get to that in the anime version, like it depends on how he says like, see you, my friend. Like if he says it like that, obviously it might be out of spite. Yeah. But if he's literally like, you know, goodbye, my friend, like as he's about to do it, like literally meaning it, it's hard to say until we literally hear that. But I still think he means it. I still think that he considers Naruto a friend and almost like a brother to him. but he realizes that in order for him to fulfill his goals, he's going to have to cast Naruto away. It's the only way he's going to be able to do what it is he wants to do.
Yeah, and something I thought about after last week's chapter was that maybe Sasuke has a very mature, realistic way of looking at things. He's like, everyone's come together because we have one enemy right now. Everyone's come together, but it's all going to fall apart slowly. And maybe it's not this generation, but the next generation won't have all these lessons. It's better if I just take over. And
he wants to literally erase the existence of the ninja world and what it's all known about. And I understand, his motives are noble.
Yeah, in some ways,
I like that. But the ends just don't justify the means.
Yeah, I mean,
it's so contradicting of him to want to kill Naruto in order for this to happen. But again, that's what makes this final battle just so intense and just. God, the artwork, man. I can't get over the artwork this week. It was definitely one of the best artwork chapters. I loved the brutality. Like, there were a lot of shots of both Naruto and Sasuke's faces just so beat up.
Oh, yeah, that was, by the end, they're all bloodied and, black eyes and bleeding. And
something that you brought up, which I think is an incredible theory about what will happen in next week's chapter with Naruto's arm. Explain that.
Yeah, so what I think is going to happen is Sasuke's going to try to, finish off Naruto with his Raikiri and about to come at him. And then Naruto's going to block it with his hand. And as we've seen in the trailer, or not trailer, but the poster of the new movie, Naruto has a big bandage on his hand. So what I feel like is probably going to happen is he's going to block that. And it's going to slice through his hand. And then after that, he's going to need a bandage on it. Because, let's be honest, Sasuke's techniques are really damaging. And if Naruto's can hurt you on a cellular level, maybe Sasuke's can
Well,
too.
I figure since it's lightning, it'll just completely fry his hand completely.
Mess
That's
up
why
all the
he has to
nerves and
completely
everything.
wrap up everything.
Yeah, so I feel like that's where that hand's going to come from. And Naruto's going to end up blocking it, but sacrificing his arm and his hand, and then just punch Sasuke in the face a lot.
What did you think of the Valley of the End getting destroyed with Hashirama and Madara's statues' heads getting knocked off?
Well, I think it's mostly symbolic, and it's also to show how powerful they are. I'm pretty sure they messed up those statues last time. The legs got messed up, when they had... But someone, there's some a ninja sculptor out there that was like, fuck, and he got back out there and redid them. And he's going to have to do it again. But I think just the scale of the battle, even Kurama mentions that Sasuke's on Ten-Tail's level, and they're having an obvious maxed out power level fight right now. And the whole Valley of the End is getting reshaped again. And they've even said, Naruto, when people of super high power levels fight, they reshape landscapes. So that's obviously happening here.
So with the battle getting ready to come to an end and only a couple chapters to go, what do you think is going to happen?
Well, mostly I think we're definitely getting the end of this fight through half of the chapter next week or the whole chapter next week. And then from there... Man, they just have so much to wrap up. They still got to save everyone from the trees. They still got to tell everyone what the hell they need to do now, based on who wins the fight. And then there has to be some normality that has to set in. And how do you do all that in 2 chapters?
What about Rock Lee? What is Rock Lee going to do?
What about Yamato? What happened to him?
Exactly. We haven't seen him in a damn long time. And that's actually... kind of disappointing when you think about it because he's been captured for such a long period and the last time he's probably going to make an appearance is almost certainly going to be in a non-speaking role in the background just saying, hey, I'm back, guys.
Or just his head when they hit the Zetsu and you saw
I wanted
part
to
of
see his creepy face again.
Nope, it's never going to happen.
It's never going to
happen.
First
Hokage came back and stole his limelight.
I'm still, I'm really excited about this chapter. Personally, I loved this one. I don't think it was bad at all. I think it's something that Naruto fans are really going to enjoy, and it's been my favorite part of Naruto and Sasuke's battle thus far. I'm still just so skeptical about the ending, just because there's just not enough time, man.
I don't know.
We need to get Jack Bauer in on this shit and take care of it, because there is not enough time!
Well, Corey, that seems to be what we thought of the chapter. I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
Jack Bauer has to come in. We need to have, 5 more chapters. Let's just be honest.
Dude, we need 10 more chapters. And I don't know. That's the thing. This whole series is also going to depend on what happens with this movie that's coming out, because still people are theorizing that the last is actually going to be the beginning of a brand new Naruto project, possibly the GT of Naruto, if you will.
Let's not brand it the GT, Corey.
You're right, because that just immediately makes it pretty sucky.
What I think is going to happen from a business standpoint is Naruto makes too much money for them to just say, you know what, we're just going to stop doing it. No way. They're gonna rebrand this. They're not gonna just release one movie and be done with it.
They might go like the Dragon Ball route now, like where they release a new movie like every couple of years. But I mean, unlike Dragon Ball, they're like, we're not gonna wait 17 years. We're just gonna go ahead and start doing it.
As long as they put out 2 a year. I want
as long as they're quality, they expand on the characters, and they don't feel too out of place and ridiculous, I'm okay with it. Because I like the characters enough that I wouldn't mind seeing it continue. But I still want to see an ending. I want to see it done. I want to be able to say, hey, I just read the last chapter of Naruto. I just saw the last episode. There's nothing more to tell.
Maybe it's just they go on adventures. You know, they built the world. Like you said, they come to a conclusion. They build the world, and then they just go on adventures from that point on, you know? And that would be okay with me.
Because there's a whole nother world of Naruto we still know nothing about. Like, it's been focused on these nations and these ninja villages which have been fighting for so long, but as the series has progressed, they've showed us that there are these other worlds that exist outside the ninja world, like the samurai's places.
Yeah.
And I even like how, and I cannot believe I'm referencing the movies, in the second Naruto movie, there's like all of those knights and stuff. Like, there could be all of these different like military and like cultural organizations all over the Naruto world that we haven't even gotten into yet that they could expand upon. Like, who's to say that, you know, Madara and Kaguya and all them are like the end-all, be-all power of the Naruto world. Maybe of the Naruto ninja world, but there's still so much more out there.
I think that there's definitely some room for some more content. That's just what I'm saying. I think from a business standpoint, and I think from a world that they've developed standpoint, there's just a lot more they can do. And maybe it's the end of us following Naruto and this ninja world, you know, one-on-one right now, but let's do something else. Anyway, let's wrap this up, Corey.
Yes.
I think you guys have heard us blabber on for long enough. And
you guys love this shit anyway.
Yeah. You love to hear us talk. That's why we do it. And we have fun. We like to pretend we're important. What do you think of score-wise? I'm going to just give it a 10 out of 10 because I just really don't have any complaints. There was like one flashback that got through real quick. Sakura did break the action, but it was quick. It was quick. And everything else was awesome. So 10 out of 10. I really have no complaints.
Yeah, it's a 5 out of 5, man. It's fucking...
Oh, 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
I forgot we changed everything.
Same thing. You know, it's a perfect score.
Perfect score.
This week's chapter was amazing. The artwork was great. The characters were great. The action was incredible, fast and fluid. There was a lot of really great hand-to-hand combat. Every single punch was amazing and just satisfying. That's the thing. This week's chapter was just wholly satisfying, and it's going to get you really pumped up for the finale of the series, which we don't know where it's going, but that's pretty much it. We loved this chapter, but we want to hear from you guys. What did you think about this week's chapter of Naruto? What did you think of the battle between Naruto and Sasuke? How is it going to end? Is there going to be some twist that we don't see coming? Is Sasuke literally going to assassinate Naruto right there in front of our eyes? Please tell us in the comments section below. If you guys liked this video, make sure and give it a thumbs up and like the video. It really helps us out a lot. And please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, because we're reviewing so much anime and manga right now, like all the new Gundam anime, Parasite the Maxim, all that stuff. Check it out. You guys can also follow us on Facebook and on Twitter.